There are huge privacy and security concerns that play into this. And I may not be articulating it well enough when we talk about this interdependence of AI systems and internal tools versus external tools and this whole ecosystem, because there's a lot to navigate. We're talking about huge issues here. Tell us what you think someone needs to know when they're thinking about privacy and security.
When we're thinking about privacy and security, there are a couple of avenues. Number one, data. Who owns the data? Where is the resident data? And as you start integrating with more platforms and more services that are fundamentally managing data, that's going to be a very complicated topic for companies to answer. Another area is really around security, compliance. One of the biggest challenges for enterprises over the past 10 years as they look at more providers versus building in-house is managing security risks. If I am a highly regulated organization and I am working with a vendor that is less, what contractual obligations does vendor have to adhere to my compliance? And as those vendors get larger and more power, the consumer, the enterprise may have less leverage to negotiate that. But that is going to be an increasingly important strategy for businesses to understand as they set up ecosystems involving multiple providers specific to AI.
I think that's super helpful. It's not just the white hats, the good guys using AI. Attackers are clearly already leveraging AI to do more damage, whether they are just your average happy criminal or state actors, non-state actors. And there's just a ton of different threat vectors if you're the CISO or the CIO looking at this. Anything else that you think might be helpful for people to keep in mind as they're navigating this in the short term? Because obviously I realize in the long term, this is very difficult to predict how this might evolve.
So one thing I will share, sort of orthogonal, is I think there is a huge opportunity right now to create a true digital identity, an immutable digital identity. I'm working with a startup that is doing something around this. I think that is going to be an essential way for consumers and for platforms to combat false information, deepfakes, etc. So I'm very excited to see what happens in that field. As it relates to bad actors, I think the role of the CISO is going to become one of the most complex, stressful roles in the organization. It is an increasing need for organizations, whether they're small or large. CISOs will now need to be experts in areas that they have not had to consider before.